Welcome back, insiders. I hope you had a smoother day than me because I started off today almost hitting max loss. I was just $200 away from it, or like 240 or 230 bucks away from it. So pretty close, $1,000 max loss. I was just taking one big loss after another, NXU, and then SPRC, and then GETR. I was down on all these tickers around $300. Then I was like, okay, well, I gotta basically slow down my trading right now. I'm getting way too aggressive on pretty sloppy moves. So I sized down, and that got me it back in the flow. I also took like 30 minutes off from like 9 to 9:30. I didn't do any trades. There also wasn't that many opportunities, but GETR, I could have traded that one at the market open, but I just piped things down a little bit. And then I was patient, and eventually EVAX got me back green. I was also down on EVAX. I think I was down on this one pre-market. So I was right on everything. So I had to really be patient and wait for something to look good and get more aggressive on. Now, I thought NXU was actually going to give us a lot of potential because of this tiny float and had news. So let's start with this one because this was the first ticker I traded today. I'm red on this one, 250 NXU. And that's because it just failed before it really started. There was one good move on this ticker, and I wish I got it. I know some of you guys got it in the Discord, and that was really nice to see it, but I just came in a little bit late to this one. So here it is. That was a bit of a 5-minute breakout and a 1-minute pullback, and then it just ripped here 15%. The volume was really good on it as well. And I was like, all right, low float, has a catalyst, let's get aggressive. I try for this pullback and look for continuation. We don't see it, but I actually made money on this one. And then I took one loss after another looking for that continuation. I also took a loser here. And then I was like, oh, wow, this was kind of depressing, but it is what it is. I wasn't too worried about it. It was our first major gapper, though, that failed right away. So I wasn't too excited about that part specifically. Then SPRC pops up with a catalyst, nice low flow, 2.5 million shares outstanding. And I was like, all right, let's go for it. And I was using kind of decent size. I was between $5,000 and $10,000 on my position sizes. We had a nice little breakout here. And that's the trend line I was looking for. And this actually worked. I didn't get the perfect breakout, though. So, again, a little bit late to the party. And this is a bit of a theme today. I missed a lot of moves. I buy this pullback, looking for that continuation. We did get it. I'm right. I think I was green on this one. And then I take... I think I lost right here looking for a quick resolution. I bought high looking for that breakout. I think I stopped out low. Then it broke out here. I think I did maybe one okay trade. And right here looking for that breakout back higher to a new high day around 7. That's what I was looking for. All these trades failed. And I took one loss after another. And then I took 3 losses in a row, I think it was. I bought this dip looking for continuation. Each time it failed. And then at one point I was cutting when it pulled back, it broke higher, I bought, and then I would cut again as it looked like it was breaking down, and then it broke up and I bought, and then it was just like I was literally doing reverse range trading. It was really, really frustrating. SPRC after the open, I was like, no, I don't want anything to do with this ticker. It's just trading really, really weird. I mean, even look at this. When it pulled back and then started creating this little first stare, look at all these attempted breakouts. Pops up, flushes back down, pops up, flushes down, pops up, flushes down. I don't think I would have traded this one really good. So if you're red on a ticker after that many trades and you're just trading red on a ticker, it's probably time to walk away from it. Then we had GETR and EVAX, which were quite interesting. So GETR also had earnings. It was a bigger float, but it was a lower price ticker, so that happens a lot. And then EVAX, not similar. It had a catalyst, but a nice low float at a higher price. So both of these tickers fall exactly into our ballpark, besides maybe GETR, because it's just this sub-dollar, and we typically don't trade those that much. But in the last 2 weeks, that's like all we've been trading. So in a way, it feels like this is exactly falling into my ballpark. I think I do somewhere here, I do a trade, but it was very small and it didn't really amount to much. The volume was way too little for me to be interested in it. I was hoping for something over $1 million, even pre-market, because it is a sub-dollar. I didn't trade this pop higher, and eventually I do some trading on GETR. Boom, there it goes. Trades load. I go for this pullback looking for continuation, but at this point, since I'm red on the day, I'm just taking any profits. My goal right now is not to just rip the stock retired, I have a home run trade and I make back all my losses. No, that's not my goal. Even though I wanted to see, and this is what I was saying in the live stream as well today, right here, I remember this pullback, I was saying, I'm looking for that move over 50. Like I'm looking for that move over 475 into 50 and then to 550. Like that's my overall goal, but I'm just trying to take some base hits. So taking those base hits actually got me green on all these moves, even though they didn't work out. Just, buying low and selling into that first pop. I didn't size though. Look at this, 4,000 shares, 8,000 shares. I could have maybe at this point sized up a little bit more because I was already getting green. Here's a nice little trend line that broke out, pulled back, had a retest, popped up higher. So there's moves that I could have traded more of. I haven't traded this one after that part. The really the interesting one was EVAX. This is the one I want to focus on. So I was thinking, by the time we were doing this recap video, I would have got some more trades on it because at the end of the live stream, everything started dying down. So I figured, okay, well, maybe we need a little bit more time because yesterday, RVSN, right around noon and 12:30, that ticker exploded. And I'm always talking about Eastern Standard Time. So I was thinking maybe that's what we got to wait for. So let's look at EVAX here. Starts crawling towards the market open, a little bit choppy. Volume could have been maybe more, but it's almost a $10 stock, so not super bad. I go for this pullback and I actually make some profit here, but very small position size. I go again for this pullback here, make a little bit of a win, but it pops up and I miss jumping in on this one. So that was a little bit unfortunate. I also don't get aggressive on this first pullback. And I'm like, okay, now I'm letting some good opportunities slip through my fingers. So I started, jumping on this one. I never did more than like 200-300 shares though. And I was a little bit, looking back, I should have got way more aggressive because at this point I was only down like $500 and I already had some flow back. I just needed to size a little bit more. Nice big 5 minute breakout actually. 1 minute pullback. This was like a perfect trade. And again, these are the ones you want to be patient for. And then you size up and you're wanting a one and done it more or less. So I was just trading way too much. Yesterday, I traded like a buffoon. I did so many trades yesterday. Look at this, 38 trades yesterday. I ended up 556. And you can see here just how hectic it was. I was, first stare consolidated and the second stare breakout. But, I had a lot of times where I was giving back probably too much money. Let's see here. Let's go back. So where this ticker started, yeah, this is where I was like, okay, yeah, I want to size up, really get aggressive. I was looking for that move past 14 because on the daily, I was like, all right, here we go. 14, big resistance there, double top. If we can break 14, we can run maybe to 17.5, $20 even. So I was really ready to get aggressive. A little bit too late. Too little too late. So it did pop up, but I was still just taking my base hits, and that's what saved me. Constantly base hits on the way down, buying anything that was too extended. And then I got halted in here. It opened lower, but my TOS froze right here. It was like every 3 seconds it would unfreeze, or maybe 2 seconds. It was really glitchy, and I was like, oh man, did I enter? My goal was basically to re-enter or enter more with low volume, and that's what happened. And it popped back up. I didn't get the shares I wanted. I was ready to go with like 500 shares. I got 200. And after that, I didn't really feel like there was great opportunities, so I called it. And then I looked at my P&L and I was like, wow, I'm down only $100. So I made back a lot of what I lost. Unfortunately, I did get too aggressive too soon. Luckily, EVAX did save me, and I just wanted to review this last part right here. Would have loved to get more aggressive with size, but I sized down to stay in the game when staring max loss in the face. This was the right idea, but I didn't size back up as I should have after I found flow again and was trending higher. That was my big mistake. Once I was green, once I was getting back in the flow state, I liked the setups. It wasn't like I was trading chop and I was waiting for a ticker and I, didn't know what I was doing. I mean, with EVAX, it was exactly by the playbook, and I was just looking for that continuation. So I should have sized up then more, and I should have sized, kept it at least at a starter size pre-market when the setups were a little bit iffy and I noticed I didn't have flow yet. So that was probably my mistake today. But oftentimes trading just comes down to a few cents here and there. And sometimes a red trade messes up a little bit of confidence. Sometimes a red trade though gives you confidence to double down on that next trade. So it's a little bit crazy and you don't want to overanalyze, but in a nutshell, usually reducing your risk by reducing your position size on the way down until you find a flow is a good idea, but then you want to step up your position size when you're in flow, when you see a good setup. And that later part, I didn't do very well today. So that's what I want to keep in mind when I'm in that situation again going forward. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and dropping that like. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you then next time. Ciao, ciao.